The following is a video presentation of a morning worship service at Orrville Baptist Church.
Not just in this community, but to everybody that would come to Vacation Bible School, showing our support for the work that is to be done. So I charge you and I challenge you to come on Friday at 6 o'clock. We'll have a time of worship, and then we will have a meal together, some hot dogs and stuff. And for our kids, there'll be plenty of activities outdoors. But I want you to remember those two things as Vacation Bible School comes forward this week. And as always, if there are any questions, if you need anything from me, I'll be happy to answer those in any way that I can. I want to invite our kids that are here and any other workers, Vacation Bible School workers that are present. I'd like you to come down to the front and stand here in a line for me, if you would. And we're going to have a time of dedication. Any workers in Vacation Bible School, doesn't matter if you're a teacher or working in the kitchen, anywhere, I'd like for you to come forward. And we're going to have a special time of prayer and dedication. I'll ask our prayer team leader, Carol Gurley, if she will lead us in this time of prayer. Remember to do this often throughout the week. Come on up here, Cindy.
Bible School is always a special time. This year, Orrville will be celebrating in the wild. And the Bible verse is John chapter 20, verse 31. And God's word says, "But these are written that ye might believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that believing ye might have life through his name." Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father God, we come here to you today. And Lord, for all these children and the workers that are lined across here, God, I pray your hand upon each one, Father God. I pray, Lord, that you give these workers strength, passion, and love. And God, that these children open the doors to their heart, that they might have fun, worshiping you, Lord, and glorifying Jesus Christ, our Lord, our Savior. God, may your souls be saved. May you be glorified in every word that is spoken and done. God, lay your hand upon this church, upon these children and workers. And God, we pray, Lord, for all those that are behind the scenes that are filling the plate or holding the hand. God, we just pray, Lord, for them. We pray, God, for children to be saved. For parents that come with them, Lord, that may not know you, Father God, let the word be spread. Disciple one another. God, we commend this Bible school to you, and we thank you, God, for all the work that has been done. It is evident that there is dedication in all these workers, Lord, and we just praise you for them. Thank you, Father God. And Lord, we look forward to each day this week celebrating Jesus Christ, our Lord, our Savior. Amen.
Jesus, as we travel in sun. morning we are going to be in the book of 1 Corinthians, and I would invite you to go ahead and begin turning there. Specifically, you can go to chapter 5 of that book. And I would typically only want to cover one chunk of this particular section of this text. But I feel led to go and really cover two main ideas that we see here in this chapter. Those ideas being the relationship amongst one another inside of the church, and also the church's relationship to the world. Sound better? There we go. These two ideas, they complement each other perfectly. And I think that there is a reason, and I think we can see that reason, and we begin to see better clarity as we notice that they're formed back to back in 1 Corinthians chapter 5. There's a richness when we cover them, and there's a richness in God giving us these two ideas back to back. And I think that's why they're closely linked here in this chapter. And essentially the idea boils down to really one thing. We are a new creation. In Christ, we are a brand new creation. That is essentially the heart of the matter, I would argue. We're new creations. We are given new hearts, new minds, new ideas, new passions, that sort of thing. And it's a gift from the Lord. It is a gift that He gives to us in making us a new creation. And so there's this idea that we see throughout Scripture that essentially we're washed. And we see the wording, the verbiage found in Scripture. You've been washed by the blood of Christ. You're washed clean. You're washed from your former self. You're washed away from the things that drive you in your past. Being washed clean and becoming a new creation is completely necessary, and it is only possible through the cross, through the work of Christ, through His sacrifice, through His shed blood. But we can't become something new while also clinging to the things of old. If you do that, you are no longer a new creation. You are just simply putting on makeup. You don't want to see me with makeup on. I don't want to see me with makeup on. That's an ugly woman. You don't want to see me like that. If I'm new, it means I'm letting go of that which is old. For me to play dress up is simply a facade. It is me being fake. It is me pretending to be something that I'm not. There's a true story in the early 1800s. It's a Hungarian physician. I'm going to butcher his name, but he changed the world of childbirth and medical procedures. Ignaz Semmelweis is what I'm going to go with. Let's show me some grace in pronouncing that name. I'm not Hungarian. During that time, there was an epidemic, a major epidemic when it came to children being born. It was called childbed fever. And essentially what would happen is new mothers, shortly after giving birth, were finding themselves being very, very sick. Very, very sick. A lot of them were dying as a result. And the numbers, the estimations that we have is 1 out of every 6. That's a lot of death. 1 out of every 6 new mothers, not the child, the mothers, would end up passing away. Now that's a very high mortality rate. Now this Semmelweis comes on the scene, and he's helping deliver children. When Semmelweis is used in that procedure to help deliver children, only 1 out of 50 women pass away. Something's different with Semmelweis. If the mortality rate is 1 in 6, but for him it's only 1 in 50, he's obviously doing something different. And he did. He was doing something that no one else did at the time. And I'm going to reveal to you what it was. Remember, early 1800s. And let me simply read from Semmelweis. Childbed fever is caused, this is his quote, is caused by decomposed material conveyed to a wound. I have shown how it can be prevented. I have proved all that I have said. But while we talk, gentlemen, women are dying. I am not asking anything world-shaking. I am asking you only to wash. For God's sake, wash your hands. Semmelweis washed his hands and then delivered babies, and as a result of that, mothers were surviving. Now, I'd love to sit here and say Himmelweiss was praised and he was carried around and paraded around, and they said, oh, thank you for saving these women. They mocked him and they scorned him and they said he was crazy, and it ended up being a self-fulfilling prophecy. He ended up literally going insane because of all of the pressure and all of the bullying and all the mockery that happened. And so he was institutionalized, and at the age of 47, he was beaten to death. This man who changed, literally changed the world when it came to procedures in medicine, was beaten to death. And it was one simple idea. Wash your hands. That's it. Just simply wash your hands. And the concept is simple. When you wash your hands, you remove all the things from the previous day that have been on your hands, and all the things that have been leading up to that part. So when he helped deliver babies, he was removing all of the contamination, all the bacteria, all of the infection from his hands before he would deliver these children. There was no bacteria entering into the open wound of the mother. And so, very low mortality rate, 1 in 50. When he washed, he was working with something fresh and brand new. His hands were brand new. They had nothing from the former self or the former day. There was no danger of contaminating or infecting the mother with his past, because it was new hands. And so what kind of danger is there? What kind of danger is there if this does not happen in the church? And what does this mean for our relationship with the world? Because I think they intersect. They cause us to think about the other. And here's how I want us at the moment, I'll go ahead and throw it out here. Here's how I want us to approach it and begin to think about these two ideas in terms of, let's stick with medicinal terminology. Think of it in terms of toxins, and think of it in terms of antiseptic. I'll explain further as we go along. I kind of want that stewing in our brain this morning. Toxins on one hand, antiseptic on the other. And we can be either of those. God's people can be one of those two things. And it'll make sense as we continue to go through this text. So 1 Corinthians 5, I'd like for us to pick up and start. I'm not going to go through an immense amount of context, but starting in verse 6, I'll give a little bit of follow after we read. Follow along with me from verses 6 to 8. Here's what the Word of God says. Your boasting is not good. Do you not know that a little leaven leavens the whole lump of dough? Clean out the old leaven so that you may be a new lump, just as you are in fact unleavened. For Christ, our Passover, also has been sacrificed. Therefore, let us celebrate the feast, not with old leaven, nor with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. We have recently discussed the unleavened bread in our Wednesday night Bible study, just kind of very quickly went through it. And leaven is really just an agent that is put in dough to make it rise. We have different methods for that today. We have different agents we put in, and it's a little bit easier for us to do today. But in biblical times, what they would do is they would have a lump of dough, you would take a little bit off, a little pinch of that off, you would soak it, you would saturate it, you would allow it to be fermented, and you would place that old dough, you reintroduce it back into the lump. And when you did that, it spread and permeated throughout the entire lump of dough. That one little piece that you had taken off earlier spreads throughout the entirety of the lump. And it causes the rest of the lump to rise. So it only had to be that fermented piece, though. It had to be that piece that was introduced back into it to make it rise. Just one small reintroduction. Just one small, tiny bit of leaven caused the entire dough to be affected. It's actually pretty neat, I think, to know that that's how it works. And God uses this in His Word as an illustration. And through the life of Paul, through the words of Paul, the character and personality of Paul, use this illustration for the church to describe what happens in the church, what can happen, and what was happening here in the Corinthian church. And so first, Paul tells the Corinthians, your boasting is not good. It is not good whatsoever. You know, this church had a lot of pride. The Corinthian church had a lot of pride. They were very prideful in what they were doing and who they were. They thought a lot of themselves. They put their status as Christians above everything in an unhealthy way, though. That should be our primary boast, really, but in a Christ-honoring way. They did it in a terrible sense. I'm saying, therefore, I can do what I want. Let's continue on. Some of it grace may compound. Let's continue on in our own ways. It just shows that Christ is a very forgiving God. And Paul is letting them know, you're not what you think you are. So Paul is writing to the Corinthian church saying, you are not who you claim to be. Some of you are really not who you claim to be. There's some major issues, Corinthians. They were boasting of themselves and the things that they did, but they had a major problem. And they did some good. Don't get me wrong. The Corinthian church did some excellent things. They did some wonderful things for the kingdom. But they had one major problem. They overlooked sin. They overlooked sin. They didn't address it. They tolerated it. They had no problem kind of sweeping it under the rug. And they would point the finger at those outside of the church while doing the same thing. That's an issue. That's a major, major problem. They were celebrating the good. That's a good thing. But they were doing so while overlooking the bad. And that's a horrible thing. You cannot do both. And when Christians do that, it doesn't matter. The good does not matter. If we're going to overlook sin and not deal with it, then the good means nothing. It's just, again, rags. It's really pointless. What good is it to walk in the flesh 6 days a week to only pretend to walk in the Spirit on Sunday? It makes no sense. But in the case of the Corinthians, many of them didn't even try to hide it. They brought it to church with them. Now that's really scary to me as you go through these two chapters. 1 and 2 Corinthians, two books, excuse me. You see Corinthian believers bringing it proudly, without hesitation, to the church. Now that's scary to me. They simply said, I'm saved, therefore I'm forgiven. And I'm forgiven again. And again. And again. Now is it true that we are forgiven? Yes. But does our heart tell us to continue on in that way? Because don't worry about it. God will just forgive you. That's not who we're called to be. And the Corinthians knew this to be true as well, and yet they continued on in their ways. And this is the illustration that is used here to show why it can be a toxic thing to act this way. That sweeping sin under the rug is a horrific thing. The Word of God says that the church is a body of new creation. It's comprised of people who are dead to their former selves. They no longer live for the same reasons that they previously did. So when a new creation goes back to the things of their former selves, it not only affects them, but it affects the entirety of the church. It affects the entire lump. And so not only does it affect them and their full lump of dough and who they are, it affects the bigger picture. The entire lump, the body of believers. And that's the idea in using this illustration. When one piece of fermented dough is allowed back and the whole lump is reintroduced in the whole lump, guess what? The whole lump is contaminated. It spreads. It permeates. And when it goes unchecked and unnoticed, it affects in a negative way. Now that's a heavy weight to bear and to think about, I would argue. That should make us shudder. It makes my shoulders kind of tense up. Because that means that unrepentant sin that I'm trying to overlook and sweep under the rug in my own life, guess what? That affects the entire body. The same is true for all of us. If we just simply overlook it. If we see our brother or sister sinning willfully, and we say, I don't want to deal with that though. That's not the Christian model. The most loving thing we are to do is we are called to go to them and say, I care about you. You need to seek forgiveness for this and stop this. Stop this behavior. Stop this sin. You're called to be different. You're called to crucify these former lusts, these former passions. This is who you used to be. You're no longer that new person. That old person, or you're a new creation. The same is true for all of us. We all struggle with certain things in our past. We've been called to crucify those things to the cross. We're called to be dead to those things. This is when we know better. This is when we refuse to repent. We need to understand something very, very specific. This is not a call that says you must be perfect. I got newsflash. None of us are going to make it. We are not called to be perfect. This is an intentional overlooking of sin. This is a very intentional sweeping of sin under the rug. This is not a call that says you must be perfect. It's not going to happen for any of us. This is for those times in which we say, no big deal about the sin that I'm dealing with. We take it even further. This is also for the times in which we say, no one will know about the sin that I'm trapped in. And I'm going to go along with it anyways. Now, that's the one, so we might not talk about the ones that sweep under the rug. That's a little bit harder to do. The one we don't want to discuss is the one that no one knows about. And I'm telling you now, someone might be offended. I will point the finger at each of you, and I will point the finger back at me. Every single one of you, including myself, has what we call the secret place that nobody knows about. Every single one of us has it. We all do. We think nobody else knows, therefore it's harmless. And if we all stood up here, one by one, and we're honest with each other about it, we can admit it. And if we knew, I'll take it further. If we knew what we struggled with, we'd have nothing to do with each other. But yet we all have it. Every single one of us, myself included. There is someone who knows. He knows our hearts. He knows our minds. He knows us inside and out. And that's God. And there is no hiding. There is no sweeping. There is no pushing aside. He knows. And so it does not matter if it is us simply sweeping or if it is trying to hide it. The fact remains, we are not perfect. We are forgiven. But the responsibility is also for us to go to the Lord and say, forgive me. I repent. I turn from my old ways and I embrace myself as a new creation in Christ. And we have a calling and a love for one another to do that for our brothers and sisters. That's the idea here, because we don't want to take up their whole person. It starts with one small step. As an individual Christian, they take one small step back in the old lifestyle. Before you know it, their entire life is immersed back into that old way. So not only is that there's the singular piece of the leaven infecting the whole person, it also goes even beyond to then affect all. Then the entire lump is then affected by this contamination. If we only knew, if we can only see with our own vision, our own eyes, what our sin did and does to ourselves and to each other. If we can only see. Both sin that is known and even sin that we think is hidden. It is dangerous for us as individuals. It is dangerous for us as the body of Christ. It is not a call to be perfect, but it is a call to be people who repent. And it is a call to be people who are seeking and clinging and walking in the Spirit, being sanctified by the Spirit, with the aim to be more and more holy each day. Because that sounds like legalism. No, it sounds like a call for sanctification. Period. That should be our goal. And I'm not going to be ashamed of that. Neither should you. You should not be ashamed for wanting to be more Christ-like today. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life, to call that legalism. None of you should ever be ashamed for wanting to be more like Jesus each day. I'm not going to be ashamed of that. And I realize my journey has a long way to go. But I'm never going to apologize for wanting to be more and more Christian, for wanting to be more and more like my King as my life endures. Now, what does Paul mean in that second part of verse 7? This is interesting. Look at that one more time. For Christ, our Passover, also has been sacrificed. And that seems like strange inclusion there in the end of verse 7, in the middle of this text. It's connecting to the event of Passover in the Old Testament. It's connecting that event to the crucifixion of Jesus. If you go back and you can make a note if you'd like to, I'll encourage you to do so if you're a note taker. Read through Exodus 12. I think you kind of bring everything up to speed, up to light. And I'm just going to read verse 15. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But Exodus 12, verse 15, it's given here, and we see something really neat. And I want us to really dive in at this one. This is, we can't afford to miss this part. So listen to this. Here's what the Word of God tells us in Exodus 12, verse 15. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, but on the first day you shall remove leaven from your houses. For whoever eats anything leavened from the first day until the seventh day, that person shall be cut off from Israel. And this is the institution the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It was designed to be a memorial to the Passover event. So how does this relate to Christ and the problem of sin within his church? So go back and just think for a moment, what is Passover? And what does Passover mean? So yes, it's a precursor to Christ. Yes, it is a sign of things to come with the new covenant. It's a sign of things to come with the Messiah coming to us. Yes, it's a symbol of grace. But Passover also goes hand in hand with a monumental event in the life of Israel. And that's their separation from Egypt. Those two things go hand in hand. The idea is that now, through the Passover event, they are separated and they are freed from Egypt. And their old lifestyle as slaves in Egypt is now going to be done away with, and they are going to begin their journey as new people. You see the dots beginning to connect. No longer are they slaves to the old, they are now freed into being the people that God has called them to be, as new people. So you see what's happening. Paul is saying Christ is the Passover for all of you who are new creations. He's now your separation from your old self. He is the one who separates you from your love for the flesh. He is your Passover. You're no longer slaves to sin. You're no longer slaves to your former selves. And so, get the leaven out. Get the leaven out. Sin has to be dealt with. There's a problem with sin. It has to be removed somehow. The leaven has to be removed somehow. Either the dough is made clean, or that fermented dough is removed completely. As you see in Exodus. You take it out, wipe it out. Either way, the leaven needs to be removed. Same thing for church. And the idea here from Paul is that either the dough has no leaven, or the leaven's got to be forcefully leave. That's the idea. That's the first picture. The possibility of being a toxin. We can be one of two things, either a toxin or an antiseptic. Now, this is what I find interesting. This is where things begin to switch. We have this idea that we are not supposed to be people who associate with things that are dirty. Because it's easy to take this and say we've been washed clean and therefore nothing dirty in the world. We're not to associate with anything dirty or anything unclean, nothing like that. Because unclean things are bad. Dirty things are bad. It's an easy principle to adopt considering the whole talk about leaven and the whole talk about dough and all this. We don't want to be contaminated by the things in the world. The scriptures really speak otherwise to this in terms of the church. The warning from Scripture is don't be defiled from the inside out. That's the only, really the only way we can be defiled, if we really think about it. The only way the church can ever be defiled is from the inside out. That's it. What's our relationship supposed to look like with the world? God has a reason. This is what I wanted us to see in giving us verse 9 on back to back with talking about sin in the church. And so let's begin there and look at verse 9. We're going to see a switch occur. I'm excited about this. Verse 9, here's the word of God tells us. Down to verse 13. I wrote you in my letter not to associate with immoral people. I did not at all mean with the immoral people of the world, or with the covetous, or swindlers, or with idolaters, for then you would have to go out of the world. But actually, I wrote to you not to associate with any so-called brother if he is an immoral person, or covetous, or an idolater, or a reviler, or a drunkard, or a swindler, not even to eat with such a one. For what have I to do with judging outsiders? Do you not judge those who are within the church? But those who are outside, God judges. Remove the wicked man from amongst yourselves. So let me make this very, very simple. I can sum up our relationship with the world in 3 words. Contact without conformity. That is the easiest way to think about our relationship with the world. Contact without There have been beliefs, there have been practices, there have been strange theologies throughout all of church history when it comes to our relationship with the world. And I've got to admit, I must tell you, I cannot. I know things are just, we have to look at certain things that out of the day and age. I understand that to a degree. However, I cannot understand the idea of being an hermit. Now, in terms of a personality trait, being an introvert, I can understand why we want to be a hermit. There are times I have to just plug myself off, and I know some people that are like, a lot of pastors are that way, to be honest. But when it comes to thinking about this, not the personality trait, I'm not talking about stuff like that. When it comes to this, when it comes to our relationship with the world, I can never understand the idea that we are called to be cut off from it. I can't get my head around it. I'll never be able to understand those theologies and those beliefs throughout all of church history that says, I'm going to go out on an island and be away from the world. I'll never understand it. Look at verse 10. Paul even says it. If you wanted to be completely away from all immoral people in the world, quote, for then you would have to go out of the world. In other words, if you want to be totally separate from all the immoral people in the world, here's how you do it. Real quick, go die. That's the only way you're going to get away from the immoral people in the world. You're going to have to die. Either that or you better find a little cottage on the moon. And just completely leave this planet. Because if you're living in this world, guess what? You're going to be surrounded by immoral people. That's the point he's making. They exist, and they're not going anywhere. If anything, we see from Scripture, it's going to get worse as time progresses. The world becomes more and more immoral. And so it's either two things, non-existence, you're dead, or you go to Mars. And I got a problem, or I got some bad news for those of us who think we might just need to go to Mars or the moon. We still got to deal with ourselves. So I'm never going to be totally gone and rid from immorality. There's always going to be something. We're always going to be having to deal with sin. Always. Listen, this is not the mission for God's people. The mission for God's people is not to be completely cut off from immorality. In practice, yes. Are we called to practice immorality? Of course not. But are we called to never have to face it? Or never deal with it? Or never confront it? That's not who we're called to be. We're not called to be people who have zero contact with the world. That's silly. That is silly. I don't even know how you would do it. You would be able to go to the store, the gas station, TV. You wouldn't even be able to go home sometimes. There is never been a calling to be cut off from the world. In fact, followers of Christ, they're called the salt of the earth for a reason. There's a reason why the disciples of Jesus are called the salt of the earth. We're called to be healers. We're called to be people who heal. We're called to be people who make a difference. I look at the life of Jesus, our King. Our King, he associated with the lowly. He had compassion for them. And when he was questioned as to why, Jesus, why do you associate? Not even just why, how? How can you associate with these filth? How can you associate with prostitutes? How can you associate with drunkards? How can you associate with beggars? How can you associate with the sick, the lepers? How can you associate with the outcasts? How can you associate with those who are disgusting and who wrestle with sin and are vile, disgusting people? How is it that you associate with that? And I love the heart of God, and I love the heart of King Jesus. As he felt pity, he said to them, it is not those who are healthy who need a physician, but those who are sick. But go and learn what this means. I desire compassion and not sacrifice, for I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners. And that's what our King said to those who questioned him. How can you associate yourself with the world? And he said, I didn't come for those who are righteous. I came to heal the sick. It's the sick who need a doctor, not those who are in perfect health. And he's looking at the Pharisees saying, you who think you got it straightened out, you who think that you are perfectly healthy, I didn't come for you. I came for those who are sick. I came for those who are sinners. I came for those who are broken. That's who I came to minister to. So you see, there's something different in these two ideas. It's one thing to tolerate sin amongst those who call themselves holy. It's another thing to minister to those who are sick and broken and afflicted by sin. And so we can be one of two things. We can be the toxin that is introduced into the holy people of God and let it run rampant in our body, or we can be the healing ointment. We can be the antiseptic that seeks to witness the work of Christ in the world, to be the salt of the earth. I want to finish this up this morning by reading from, I think, the place to go in thinking about this, and that's the chapter of John. You already have some ideas of where we're headed. John chapter 17. When you said, I knew it. Good. I want you to say that. I want you to say, I knew we were going there. That makes me excited to know that's where you knew we were going there. I think this hammers the point home. I think it's something we've got to look at as we leave this morning. We have this popular phrase. If we're talking about being in the world, that sort of thing, and how we relate, what's the one phrase we know that's summed up? And it comes from this. To be what? I know. I mean, we say it all the time.
In the world, not of the world.
I heard it.
In the world, but not of the world.
We're in the world, we're not of the world. That's the, really, we say this a lot. Thank you. I repeat that a million times. It's true, and by the way, it comes from Scripture. So of course we should be using this. We're in the world, yes, but we're not of the world. That's that same word of conformity. We're not conforming to the world. Now I want to take it further, and I don't mean out of Scripture, I mean inside of Scripture. I want to take it even further, and I think we're gonna go through this, and I'm telling you, you talk about my heart getting punched. I hope yours does. I hope you get punched in the chest the same way I did. I really do. I needed it. I hope you tell yourself this morning that you need it as well. I needed this. Listen to this. Let's go to John 17. This is starting in verse 13. And let's take this and then let's continue to push and see what God tells us. But now I come to you, and these things I speak in the world, so that they may have my joy made full in themselves. I have given them your word, and the world has hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Okay, so far, so good. We understand what this means to live and exist in this world, but not be of it. Something's different in us as we're followers of Christ, right? Shake our heads. Yes, we are different creations. Okay, so we understand this idea. It's a simple concept. All right, that's good. We understand this very well. We're not being conformed. But listen, this is not the end goal. Now, this is where we need to have our hearts punched. A lot of times, this is what we see as the end goal. Our goal is to be in the world, but not be of it. And then we say, as long as we do that, we're good. As long as we're existing in the world, but not conforming to it, as long as we do this, we are doing the will of God. For a long time, this is how we have operated. This is how I have operated in my faith. I think we see something different if we just continue on looking at the words of Jesus. Verse 15. I do not ask you to take them out of the world, but to keep them from the evil one. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them in the truth. Your word is truth. And here's the haymaker, verse 18. As you sent me into the world, I also have sent them into the world. Now that is the goal. The goal is not to simply be in the world but not of it. The goal is this: not of the world, but sent into it. Not of the world, but sent as messengers of the gospel into it. That is the goal of Christ in our lives. To be sent into the world. Not merely be in it. brokenness restored through the work of Christ in our lives. We want to be witnesses to His work in us in restoring this world, and seeing men and women reconciled to the Father through the message of the gospel, and that only comes through hearing, through the preaching of us. It's got to start with us. How will they hear if there is no messenger? It's us. We are not simply called to exist, we are called to go. We are sent people. This takes on a brand new meaning of being a cleansing agent. If we're to be the antiseptic, the healing ointment, it takes on a brand new meaning than simply existing. We come and we are here for the same purpose as Jesus. And He said, to seek and save the lost. His purpose becomes our purpose. His mission is our mission. To follow in His footsteps. Now, remember, we went through Acts for 2 years, and what did we say every week? Christ is still at work. How will we witness His work if we are not the ones sent into the world? How will we witness His work if we are not involved in His work? How will we witness the power of Christ displayed and manifested in healing this world if we are not living as sent people? And so you see the correlation between not sweeping sin under the rug, not being a people who tolerate sin, not being a people who turn the other cheek, but being people who deal with sin and relationship with the world in which we say we're coming to you. It's nothing for us to ignore, it's for us to attack. We are not people who ignore sin, we attack sin, we expose sin, we call out sin, we go in a loving way and we say, I love you and I care about you. That happens inside of the body of Christ and it happens outside the body of Christ as well. That's our mission, that's our calling, to seek and to save the lost. And I'll end this right there. Let's go to